Okay, let's dive into the core differences between asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD.
For millions, that struggle is a daily reality. But why does it happen?
You've got asthma and COPD. On the surface, they look super similar. Coughing, wheezing, the works.
But what's happening inside the lungs? Well, that's a completely different story.
The main issue in both is something called airflow obstruction. Basically, it's hard to breathe out.
But here's the thing. One single concept really splits these two conditions apart.
And that concept is reversibility. Asthma's obstruction can be reversed. COPD's, not so much.
So let's tackle asthma first. Think of it as your airways just completely overreacting.
During an attack, 3 things happen at once that make the airways narrow.
First up, the muscles around your airways squeeze super tight. That's called bronchoconstriction.
Then, the airway walls themselves get all swollen and inflamed. This is a huge part of it.
And on top of all that, your body produces a ton of extra mucus, clogging everything up.
But this whole overreaction is temporary. Between episodes, your lungs can be totally fine.
All right, now for COPD. This isn't an overreaction. It's a story of ongoing progressive damage. COPD really has 2 main phases: chronic bronchitis, the clogged pipes, and emphysema, the broken air sacs.
And they each have their own classic look, from a chronic cough to severe breathlessness.
Chronic bronchitis is basically a long-term mucus-producing cough from constantly inflamed airways.
Emphysema, on the other hand, is the actual destruction of those tiny air sacs in your lungs.
This damage, usually from smoking, is permanent, and unfortunately, it just gets worse over time.
So what does this actually mean for someone living with these conditions long-term?
This chart really breaks it down. Check out the age of onset and smoking history. Those are huge clues.
Now with chronic asthma, all that inflammation can cause some permanent changes called airway remodeling.
But with COPD, it's a steady downhill path. The lung function you lose doesn't come back.
So let's boil it down. Asthma is a reversible problem. COPD is progressive damage.
So one's a temporary fight, the other is permanent loss. Which makes you wonder, can medicine ever repair the irreparable?